emceeing the show, and we are here to discuss a couple of things. So I guess from our left to our right, we can introduce ourselves and maybe say a fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact.
Well,
I know. What's?
Oh gosh. Well, I'll start. I'm Tre. You've seen me here before, and I grew up on a farm.
That's a fun fact.
That is.
I'm Alisha, and a fun fact is I am the queen of karaoke.
True story.
That is true.
I am LA, and I build things.
Yeah.
I'm Larry, and I'm here.
That ain't fun fact.
That's a fun fact.
Oh Lord. My name is Juan. And a fun fact about me is just 2 days ago I came this close to a bull that scared the shit out of me.
My name is Gee, and a fun fact is that I am starving right now. So if I get hangry, that's why.
All right, so some health. We do have healthy snacks. You might not like them, but we have some healthy snacks. Apples and fruit and stuff. No? Okay. So basically our show is going to be talking about like what you feel like is important as a couple when it comes to dealing with your mate's friends. That's a really challenging thing, and in the show, that's an issue that comes up. And if you have an issue with your mate's friends, or your mate and their friends are going through something, like how do you handle that? So one of the questions we can lead off with, I'm thinking, is like, so you don't have to talk present day, but have you ever dropped a friend because of an issue with your mate?
Yes.
And you're gonna follow up with
Right.
not the story, but like what are those non-negotiable things? Yeah, like
Well, you know what? For me, there was never any problems with Juan, and this is my husband, by the way, with Juan and any of my friends. But I just think in relationships, and when you get into relationships, certain friends just are not conducive for your relationship. Mm-hmm. And so I think that, and it's subconsciously they just fall off, right? Mm-hmm. And so I also know that there's certain friends that he did not really care for. And so it might have not been the right thing to do, but like I eventually stopped caring for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was just because I loved him so much, and I stopped looking like, well, maybe they ain't that cool. You know what I'm saying? And eventually,
I have the gift of...
You have the gift of whatever you may have of not liking people.
Discernment. A gift of discernment.
Yeah, but and it was the same with him. There were certain people that I didn't really care for either. And usually the people that show up that don't really care for your mate or vice versa, it's impossible for them to be really rooting for your relationship. Mm-hmm. It's impossible. If they don't like your mate, I'm sorry, they can try in their best interest, whatever. It's impossible for you to even trust that person with your relationship. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's necessary to, if that person's really your partner, then the partner comes first.
Yeah, I think particularly for gay men, our friendships occupy so much space in our lives. Mm-hmm. Our friends they may not be lovers, but they're confidants. They're best friends. They are our advisors. They occupy all of these intimate spaces. And then when we get into a relationship, we have to clear out some of that space because those roles should be assumed by our partner.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I think naturally when that happens, particularly with us, there was some tension or some friction where, I'm making space for G to occupy these intimate parts of me, and some friends weren't having that. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of would overstep their bounds and make assertions that, a year ago that would have been all right, but now this is my my go-to, my confidant. You know, we have to redefine our friendship and how you show up in my life. And I think some people can't take that.
Yeah.
And so they automatically just fall off as friends. And so if that's me choosing to not be your friend anymore, then so be it. But I think that's you choosing not to redefine our friendship.
What about y'all?
You know, I don't think we've ever had that problem, have we?
No, and I think because our friendship network is very, very small, to where most of our friends are like family. Like, I have a really good friend that I've been friends with over 20 years, and nobody else would be that close to me that I would share things where it would cause friction. So yeah, I don't really have any.
But that does make me think. So, her all of her best friends are her cousins.
Yeah,
and so I think for me, I just always respected that this was family. You know, family that's taken me in too. So I didn't really have any issues with her friends.
because I don't have that many friends.
But you do though, cousins.
Yeah, but they don't also.
I mean, and these right, they don't live here.
Not people who you see on the regular.
Yeah, so
but
it would be different.
And then the conversations as related to us though would always be supportive. There wouldn't really be any like we don't take our issues to other people. So there wasn't anything for them to talk about me with her. Yeah. So I mean, it's just childish girl, and this is what aunties, cousins, you know. So
I think that I don't understand people who friends and partners are arguing with each other. I don't argue with my friends. That's just not the nature of my friendships. Like, especially when it comes to catty type of arguments. That's why, and this is what we're talking about from the episode, right? It's just like, why is your friend have that much say in your relationship? It's almost like when your mama have a lot of say in your relationship. It's like people give their friends too much say in their relationships to the point where their closest friends come first. And so back to Juan's point, a lot of men stay single for that long because you have your friends that are filling these intimate spaces. You don't have much need for a partner except for the sex. Right. Because your friends are taking those spaces. So now it's like, well, what room do I have if now you're single forever because the person is just moving on?
Right. So when you first met Juan, or an ex, and for everyone, did you have a friend who was like, I don't think this person is good for you, or, you know, or just, you know, or I think he will be good for you, like that.
But I had a friend that thought I was all of my friends thought we were moving way too fast. Like, and especially because we would hang out all the time and yada, yada, yada. And then when I met Juan, it was every day. Every day. And they couldn't handle it. They thought I was moving too fast. Like, you need to wake up.
What
you know,
is their expectation? That's always weird to me.
I guess they didn't understand it. You know,
How long have y'all been together?
Almost 10 years now.
What about y'all?
It's 10 years and about 3 months. 2
Yeah.
months.
Same here, actually.
So
Next
you can't
month,
move
you know what?
fast.
We did have one friend that we're not friends with anymore. That's a mutual
We did.
It's one. That's one friend.
When we started our courtship, we met through a mutual friend, and she basically, it was weird because we both said we liked the other. You know, I think LA is attractive, and she would say I think she's wifey material about me, and so the friend is like supportive of this cute little back and forth. But when we actually started to pursue one another, she came to me and said, Alisha, I don't trust LA. It's just something about it.
But before that, I was great.
Before that, she was great. And then
she was jealous.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. It was. And this is somebody who, like, I adored our friendship, and I didn't understand why she was acting this way. And then she went on to tell us that she didn't like hanging around us while we were together. She wanted to wait until the newness wore off because it was too much. We were always talking and always touching. I mean, even this would be, why y'all gotta be touching each other?
Yeah. But it's because I think people like that, they're unhappy.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's really what it was. I think that she was unfortunately in a very unhappy place in her life.
She's a great person.
And she can't take it, and because of the way she treated us, we're not.
I think that's great that she was able to say, I can't be with y'all right now because y'all just giving me too much. And she was like, look, y'all too sappy, I can't take it.
That shit was like, y'all
Oh,
call me when the newness wears off. It's been 10 years.
And the
newness
newness
wears
wears
off.
There it is.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on something G said, like I couldn't even fathom one of my friends even looking at G sideways. Like I would nip that in the bud right off the bat.
Right.
I believe the question was though, how do you if he's in an argument with his friends?
So like if say, okay, so say he has an agreement with the friend, and then you see the friend is like going outside of that agreement.
Okay, and so I believe that is not my space to intervene because I trust that he's man enough and grown enough to handle that relationship on his own. So like if I can give him my opinion all day and all night, and I know and I will, but it's up to him to allow that friend or not to allow that friend to treat him that certain way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you all share friends?
Yeah.
We do. Yeah.
Do you share all your friends?
No.
No. I have friends that are my friends. He has friends that are his friends, but we have created friends together within the relationship. I don't believe that anybody he was friends with have really become those are still his friends, and our friends have changed so much since we've been together.
Yeah.
Like, so much has changed in our life, from relationship to business to everything has just changed. So the friends have really most of our friends are friends we have created together. Or I have my personal relationships. He has his, but friends when we start off, most of them are not there anymore.
But also even as we are cultivating friendships now together, they're still at various levels and degrees. He may be closer to some people that we've met together, and I probably don't talk to them outside of a group setting, and vice versa. So once again, I think the concept still remains, like even if it's a mutual friend, if they're having an issue, that's their issue. Now, I'm not going to say that if I see them getting into it, I'm not going to step in because I reserve the right to do that. And I know how my mouth is, and I know that like I will come to his defense if I so choose. So I reserve that right.
Yeah, I feel that I'm very protective.
Because it's like
I understand.
It's like, look, you ain't got to fight. I got this. You know what I'm saying? You just protect
We don't
them.
fight.
No,
We
we
don't
don't.
fight.
But if it were to get to that level, like
It would never get to that level. Nobody's going to take us out of our own control.
No,
Yeah.
not to physically fight. No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Not unless they hit you first.
And then
That's
That's
self-defense.
do
I
not
was
fight
gonna
at
say,
home. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah. We do not condone that.
But most of our friends are we call them couple friends. So we are mostly friends with couples.
Yeah.
Aside from any friends that we have on our own.
Separately, yeah.
That's interesting. So, so those separate friends, like, would you?
So what about you, Larry?
What about me?
Do you have separate friends?
Yes, we do. We have separate friends. So, like, I don't have friends necessarily that he doesn't know. But like you said, I think we have friends where I'm closer, and like we have very different personalities, so that goes into play too. He's very to himself and more than introverted, because I think I'm an introvert a lot in some ways. But he's like very closed off, like, and it's not purposefully. It's just who he is, you know. And I'm more like, when I meet people, I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm more engaging. So like I build relationships quicker with new people than he does, because he's more apprehensive and like, stand back, give me some space. You know, so I think it's important to have your own friends, because like you need that. I feel like I need that. Like I don't have a lot of individual side friends, but I have like those core people that have been there for me for years and years and years. So I know that like if I need somebody to talk to, if I need somebody to fall back on, they're gonna give me support, and they're gonna be supportive of my relationship.
Do you think
check me?
Do you think it's important for you to know all of your partner's friends and vice versa?
I do think it's important. I feel like a line that Jay-Z says in, is it 444? I never want someone else to know something about me that you don't know. You know, and that's like, I never want somebody to be able to come to him and tell him something about me that he has no idea about, or like a friend, or I saw him with this person. He's like, well, who is that? You know, like I feel like that.
But is that different? I'm about to ask questions now.
I know.
Is knowing a person's is so you can know that he's out with Jim but not know Jim, and he can share he can have a relationship with Jim and Jim not know things that you don't know, but you still don't know Jim.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, like I'm out and you don't know who the person who I'm with at all. I'm like, you don't even know I'm with Jim.
The question that I asked.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the partners should know their partner's friends? Do you feel like you need to know all of her friends and vice versa? And
Absolutely.
yeah. Why?
Because why wouldn't I?
Right. I mean, like, has this person come over to the house? You know, she wouldn't hang out with a random person. I mean, even if somebody she's known for months, I would know them too.
Yeah. But what if they don't live in the same city?
Like,
how do you know?
It's like you're not gonna be like, oh, babe, I'm heading down to Orlando to meet with a child.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Was she at the wedding?
So for this, like, I don't necessarily think it's important that he knows all of my friends, but he knows of them.
Yes.
Because like, I'm from LA, so I travel for work. So if I'm in LA, I'm going to hang out with so and so. They're a friend, whatever that means. I think we need to define friend as well.
Sure.
But you've never met them, but you know I'm hanging out with them. And I feel like that. I think it's okay to have a relationship and they know things about you that your partner doesn't necessarily know, because some things are just more personal. I shouldn't say personal, but some things you want to bounce ideas off of a different type of mind.
See, I get that.
You know,
I get that.
and so it's not a dig or like I can't tell my partner everything because I know I can, but certain things I just don't want to. Perhaps.
Yes, I think it's a little bit of a fantasy to think that our partners will know everything about us. I think it's great to conceptualize, but it's like, do you really not gonna have any secrets? I think everybody has secrets. Yeah. Everybody has secrets, but I exactly feel what you guys are saying, because I don't ever want anybody coming to me and says they saw Juan doing something that I don't know about. Like, I've always told him that too. Like, I don't want anybody to have a leg up on me. You come into the room and you done fuck somebody somewhere, I need to know where they at. And I know that's my own insecurity. I just need to know to make me feel good. You know, but have to know his friends. And I think this is just hard. We have learned this because he has been traveling for the past 4 to 5 years so much that I've learned I can't possibly know everything he's doing anymore, where he is, where he's at anymore. He can't know about me anymore. So it created a level of security, I think, within the relationship after some time that I don't really, like, if he went out last night, I don't really even know what he did last night. I trust that whatever he's doing out there is not going to do anything to our relationship. So I don't have the need anymore to know, what did you do last night? Who was you with? Where did you go? And it's okay now. And I think because that distance, I really had no choice but to move into that space. So now when he is home, I'm not so anxious about what's going on when I'm not around, if you will.
For me, it was about releasing the need to control. I'm a control freak, and so where were you with? Who was there? What did y'all do? Play by play, I need it because I need to even if I'm just controlling it in my mind, I need to feel like I have some power over the situation. But like he said, like, once you're away for extended periods of time, you realize, like, you really ain't controlling shit. Just like it really means nothing. It's wasted energy. That like, and then what's your expectation? Like,
I need to trust you or not.
Right. And if I trust that he has our relationship, he holds it close, and he's gonna always respect us first, then that's all that I need to know. in order to be secure.
Yeah, and
So-
that's the freedom. That's the level of freedom that.
So y'all spend a lot of time, or I don't know how much time y'all spend apart, but you just said that he travels a lot. And so and this is for both of y'all, have you ever had to confide in a friend about your partner, and then has that ever caused an issue?
I am very selective about what I share about my relationship. Like, I don't share negative aspects, and I think that could be to my detriment.
Ain't no negative.
Sometimes that can be an issue because you have to let it out.
Yeah.
You have to speak it to get through it, I believe.
Right.
But you said something earlier, like a lot of people aren't for your relationship.
Right.
And I know that when you vent the negative things, your friends hold on to that. And that becomes their perception of your mate. And
Well,
so
they're protecting you too.
but the road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know?
Yeah.
So while it's great that they feel I need that protection, I don't need your protection, you know? So that's why I'm very selective on what I share. And I don't, quite frankly, share issues with friends as it pertains to our marriage.
So do you ever feel like you need to vent about an issue?
I do.
And then who do you vent to if you
So you know what's really strangers.
That's the best. Boy, talk to a
Strangers.
therapist.
Or therapist, yeah.
Amen.
Get a therapist.
But therapy is good.
Therapy.
Black people.
Or my barber. I will say that. My barber, it's like therapy. Therapists or strangers. I travel a lot, also hotel bars. I meet some of the most random people, and those are great times to vent whatever might be going on.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a lot more open than Juan is. A lot more. I've always been. And so.
I'll drink to that.
And so there are. I will share things with people that I feel like could even understand the level of what I'm telling them. And there is not a lot of people that have. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of people around that have been in a relationship for that long. So I'm not going to say certain things to certain people that don't even have the concept of what it means to be with somebody for 10 years and to be going through certain things. And for the most part, I had to rely on my therapist or people who are in the same field as we are, because we do coaching as well. So other colleagues and such, from more an intellectual level, more than I'm just talking to a personal friend. Because I don't really feel like when people are really emotionally involved in your situation, they can really come from an objective point of view anyway. You know? But I think it is important to get it out and release, because you know, you can't bounce everything off of your partner, because they love you and they have a lot of things invested in you. You know, and even sometimes subconsciously, you don't even realize that people are going to work in the benefit of themselves. You know, at the end of the day, she wants to be happy too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So subconsciously, she's going to tell you things are going to be best for both of them. That's just human nature. And that's the same thing with your friends. Like when your friend came and was like, I don't know about her anymore. You know, she probably didn't even realize. She probably really thought that she was looking out for you, but subconsciously, she felt threatened.
Yeah.
She felt threatened, you know?
I done X'd herself right on now.
People really do make their highest choices that time. They really do. You know, I really believe that about people. And
I do too.
yeah. So you just can't always share space with everybody.
Yeah.
What about y'all?
For me, I'm normally not a sharer, but there was a situation that we were going through, and I decided to share with family members, and luckily, I just felt so thankful because they were very objective, and it made me realize how much they loved her, because the advice they gave me was just great advice, and I feel like if I had shared it with a friend, maybe it wouldn't have came out. So
like they was just invested in her as they are in you.
Yeah.
I was good. That did bring up, like, I think a family outlet might be, because I have spoken to my mother, and shit, she be taking his side.
Right.
Hello, somebody.
Not always. Yeah. But I think a family, when you've been invested in a relationship for this long, your family is blended at this point, so they can come from an objective point.
Yeah, especially if you know they don't want you to break up.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking about like, oh my God, y'all doing what? The people who really want want your relationship to
Yeah.
succeed, and you know who those people
Yeah.
are.
Right. Yeah.
You know who those people are, and you know who those people ain't.
Those ones you got not telling you that.
Okay.
Right.
We fine. The argument from hell. No, we fine. Yes, all is well. That's all you need to know.
With that makes me think of like being semi-public or people knowing you, they feel entitled to your relationship status and how y'all doing and everything else. I mean, for example, and what made me think of this is like on Instagram, like somebody asked Nolan is my husband, like, I haven't seen you post any pictures of him lately. Are y'all okay?
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like
A stranger?
how do
Like
you-
somebody don't even know.
Like, how do you feel? How do you respond to those type of inquiries? Like when it's coming from friends, like, oh, well, y'all ain't doing what y'all used to do. Like, how do you handle those things?
Well, nobody ever said that anything like that to me. But in a case like this, if somebody asked it, I think that's a valid question. If you're been on a reality show and you've showed your relationship on a reality show and you've gotten the public involved in your relationship, and I think it's, hey, are you guys still together? I think it's a valid question because you have let them into your relationship at some point.
But posting pictures, does that mean you're not together?
Well, I'm speaking for you because you have had your relationship on a reality show.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, so that means like, so the difference to me is like us being together, and then like every picture I post has to be us.
But that's not what they said, though.
Like,
they said you haven't posted a picture in a while. I think
So like a week is a while. Like a week?
Yeah. Social media, in social
You
media
gotta
world,
realize,
yeah,
like,
it is.
for me,
Oh my God.
the social media is like you are allowing people into your life, and you got to realize the person on the other side of that screen, we don't know how they view on your life.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might be following you because
Yeah.
They waiting on that moment
Yeah.
when you
Right,
say
right.
together.
So I think
They waiting.
number one, because I remember earlier on, I would take offense to things like that as well. And then I realized, well, if they weren't asking, then I wouldn't be relevant and my work wouldn't be as successful. So we need people to be invested in our relationships to a certain extent. And I have been asked, are y'all breaking up? Are y'all getting a divorce? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that just seems that it's just preposterous to me, but you have to realize that their point of view is not your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So not posting a picture for them in a week says trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I accepted that that's their perspective, then I can approach it from a different vantage point, and I can say, well, no, and I can choose to either go in more depth or determine how to handle it from that point on. But it's really about understanding, number one, that they're not trying to read or be messy or start shit, but they're really inquiring.
But what if they are trying to read or be messy?
But then that's them. That's their. That's
you just
their
ignore
business.
it.
Yeah.
You just ignore it. But if your relationship and like from social media is one thing, but now you're taking it to, and I always go back to you because you were on a show that your relationship was on. So I think that's just like if Nene and Greg broke up, I'm like, Nene and Greg, y'all ain't together. Oh my God.
But I think but the idea that a relationship is in the same place forever is like, I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah.
And as people grow, and just like you were saying, the comfort of like, I do like a million things,
Right.
so he can't always be there
Right.
with. He doesn't want to always be there.
Right.
Our personalities are different.
And that's your response. That's what you say.
Oh, they didn't ask me. They
Well,
asked him.
you-
You
didn't respond
He
anyway,
did. He
huh?
did not.
Yeah. But I actually get it from a different perspective. I think when folks are following you on social media, right? So they think they know you.
Mm.
And so aside from being on a reality show, they're judging you based off of your photos. I mean, a photo is done with great lighting. I'm looking flawless because I took several photos,
Right.
but our life isn't perfect.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes people have come into our lives who judge us based off of their perceived perfection. And so if we're not, if I'm gonna 95% of the time I'm gonna be pleasant and kind and sweet, but sometimes I might be having a slower day,
Right.
and so I might be sharp with you,
Right.
and oh my gosh, if I'm sharp, I'm not. What's going on with Alisha? I'm not talking to Alisha anymore. And I mean, and we've lost people because of that. And there is no other measure, because when you come around us, we're consistently the same. Mm-hmm. So the only other measure could be the way that you see us online, maybe. Yeah. Or they may say, "Oh, you guys don't go hiking anymore." Mm-hmm. We didn't take any photos. You guys, when's the last trip you gone on? Because I haven't seen any pictures. We didn't take any.
Right. And you have to consider that that's the only avenue that they know of your life.
Yeah.
So like you said, like y'all went on a trip, we just didn't take pictures, but in their mind, like, oh, they hadn't been on trips because you didn't post the pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't see you every day, or they don't see you at work or going your daily life. All they see is what they see on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So that's how they see your life.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think that's why it's ever important to be intentional on what you post online.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Because people take that as your whole life. Mm-hmm. So, as we were talking about earlier, if you want to be seen as one thing, yet the image that you portray online is the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, what do you expect?
Sure.
You know? So, it's just all about what your intentions are.
So what do you want the world to see? If the world could see your relationship in one word, what one word would it be? And
grace.
What one word would you want them to see?
It would be grace.
It would be grace. Why?
Well, because so much happens in our lives collectively and in our individual lives. Like we get up, we go to work, we take our millions of dogs out who can be annoying, and we certainly strive for greatness, and we strive for, this year is our brilliant achievement year. We strive for all of that, but when things don't go that way, just give me a little grace.
I like that. What about y'all?
I don't know if I heard the question a little differently, but can you ask it again?
I'll try.
I had an answer before I heard her answer.
My answer was better than the one you was thinking of.
No. But just, what was the question? When people see our relationship, what do you want them to see?
Yes, and then in one word, what do you want them to see, and then what do you describe it as yourselves? Okay. Like, if there is a difference.
Mm-hmm. So I would want them to see our relationship. I would want them to see love. And I would want them to see that, because with love comes grace, forgiveness, transparency, acceptance, all of those things, which means that through all of the issues that we go through all of the ugliness, there's still love, because love has forgiveness and all those things. And it's not perfection. It's just love.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Very good answer.
Now do your grace now.
They both are good.
Yeah. But what I was understanding from her is that she wants people to not feel like it's so perfect. Mm-hmm. Have grace on bad days and be forgiving of what have you. So I was just kind of looking at, what they may see between us. But yeah, that's why I was like, clarity.
Another word that was in my head was connected.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when you're connected, you're empathetic, you're loving,
mm-hmm.
And your two souls becoming one, and that interconnectivity can't be broken. So I hope people see that when they see us.
10 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm. And you're not always connected.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just stay in the house when you're not connected. Your relationship is vulnerable. If I'm not feeling connected with one or what have you, I won't just go into social spaces and we need to be in good spaces when we're around other energy, because that shit, you take that shit home.
Mm-hmm.
And if your relationship is in a vulnerable place, then you might not need to be around a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're taking that shit home with you, you really are.
We're a little bit different on that.
Mm-hmm.
We could have a little pitter-pat in the car, but as soon as we step out, we snap it
Back
up.
together.
Well, I think there's a difference between pitter-pat, because we had a pitter-pat on the way here too. But not being connected. Because sometimes we're not connected for weeks at a time.
Yeah,
Because the ebbs and flow of the relationship. But I ain't talking. But I know the bickering is a
but
little different.
I guess what I mean is if there's a scheduled event that we have to be at, or I mean, even if it's a neighbor event, somebody's called us to be there, we're gonna come and support, and we're gonna be great. You know, you're never gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get back in the car and we, you know.
Back at
But I definitely understand where he's coming from when you're not connected.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not connected, and sometimes that disconnect could go on for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be out in the club.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
That's
Might
what
get
you
works.
get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean?
And I just think there's opportunity for
Yeah.
things that you want to seep in subconsciously.
Yeah.
The face is gonna be good. Yeah, we look good, but there's just some vulnerability in the relationship when you're not connected. So,
Yeah.
and I just a strong believer in energy, and there could be nothing said, but things can be taken within that can transfer to your relationship. Like I strongly believe that. Even when people come over, that I know that it's not for our relationship, I am very intent in trying to get that energy out of my house because I just feel like there just needs to be loving energy around, you know, and it's not always around.
That's
Yeah.
And you're not always able to block that out when you're weak yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I feel that.
Blinders can be on sometimes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Your antennas aren't up. I mean, but what about you, Trey?
what was the question?
You asked the question.
One word. Me and Rico.
Me and Rico.
Us. I think we're that word. It's like we're us, and we are uniquely us. Like we're not like any other couple. I mean, it's okay we are, but I mean we do our own thing, and that's our way of doing things, and we're okay with that. And as long as we're okay with it, then you be okay with it too.
Yeah.
And if not, that's okay because we're us. But I mean, yeah.
Period.
I
Yeah.
think it.
That was a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
People will try to act like your relationship is supposed to be one thing when they don't
Yeah.
even
They don't
know.
even know.
It ain't no one way.
Yeah. What I think is interesting is when, and it's boys or girls, they'll say, "Oh, you know, Alisha, I'm never getting married because I want what you in LA have." And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You don't want what we have.
What do we have?
And
This is how it works,
and so they are, you know, they're single and have been single for some time. And I mean, even when they meet really great people, I'm like, I'm rooting for this person. Oh, well, they're too short. Oh, I just wish they would work out more. Would you go to the gym with them? Oh, but you know, she doesn't cook. Or I mean, all these things that just seem silly.
Yeah.
You know, you can work yourself through it because we did it. So if you want what we have, then you're gonna have to do those things. So
Well, okay, so I have a question because I was just having this conversation with a friend at work, and we were talking about a fixer-upper versus someone who is ready. So when you met your partner, were they ready or were they a fixer-upper?
So
Everybody's a fixer.
we will be a fixer up the rest of our lives until we die. Nobody is going to have it all together. If that was the case, what is the point of me bringing somebody into my life?
Right.
If you're not gonna be able to help me with some shit that I need to get help with.
exactly.
And that's
And
what
that's-
people need to understand.
Yeah.
There's no
Like,
destination.
Yeah.
Like there's no level of success, of money, of enlightenment,
Abs.
of any of that you will get to that there's not a higher place that you can go
Exactly.
to. And that's what your partner is there to usher you.
Yeah.
Oh.
She stood up.
I was just like, he really getting into it.
I'm not even patting you on the back. Like, good job.
I was just
That's because G moved.
Here you need some support. I can give you my pillow.
What were we talking about?
Yeah. I'm
Fixer
sorry.
uppers are
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, there is no destination. So there's always old wounds that you need to heal, and so because if I needed to be whole when I met him, then or when I met anyone, we would never be together.
Yeah, I think the only thing that you need to be ready for is to be self-aware.
Yeah.
If you are constantly keep self-awareness at the height of things, then you are ready for a relationship. If not, you're gonna be pointing the finger at your partner the whole goddamn time. You're not realizing that this person is here for me to help me be aware of myself.
right.
And so if you have that, then you are ready for a relationship. In my point.
Yeah.
She said it. He said something. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Because he said to realize that your partner is not responsible for making you happy.
Right.
Your partner is responsible for helping you grow.
Right.
And I, that is so real. And like to me, I think that's something that should be echoed. Is like because people are looking for, like, you need to be ready, you need to make me happy, I need to find this in this other person. It's like that needs to reside inside of you before, like, you can even offer yourself to someone else. So I just thought that was something that I heard that she was saying.
I don't
necessarily. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I think that when you're meeting people, that you should be ready to love, if that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I got friends that are like, oh, this person don't have a car, they don't have a house, they don't have any of this. But when I met Alisha, I had a car, I had a house, but I wasn't still at the level that I am now. It's like I felt like when we started, I was on maybe level number 4.
Yeah.
Now I'm on level number 10. I'm still not at that 20, but I've grown, and I think it's about meeting someone. For me, it wasn't about what she had, what she didn't have. It was like, damn, this girl treated me nice. That's what I want. That's what I want. It's like she was nice, she was kind, and that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for what she got, what we gonna get together. And then when we got together, it's like, boom, it just happened. It's like we started making those strides and making, getting better together.
Right.
And I think when you're in a relationship, if you look for somebody that's going to be kind to you, because that's number one.
Yeah.
Somebody be kind. If they're kind, then dang, isn't that better than them having a house?
Yeah.
Because you don't want somebody that got a house and they going to treat you fucked up, right?
Well, those are the people that put their self-worth in their things.
Yeah.
So if they feel like their things are making them, that's their self-worth, and that's what they're looking for in other people.
And it's like, when that house get foreclosed, though.
Right.
Exactly.
Then what?
Right.
You at least I got your chest to be my pillow. Can you ride with me during those moments?
Right.
And I think that for me, that's what's most important. So, although when we got together, I was impressed by his infinity. I was like, oh, but that wasn't a selling point, because I caught the bus to his house, because when we got together, I did not have a car. But and thank God he saw past that. But like you said, are you kind? Like your kindness goes 10 times, a million times farther than your house or your car or your bank account
or your job, or the money you have. It's like, I just want somebody to be nice to me.
Right, just love me.
Yeah, just love me. Yeah,
that's all we want. Is love.
So, final thought. So, you guys have been together 10 years? 10 years. 10 years.
Coming up on
8 years. It'll be 9 in May. Someone who may be single and looking for love, who's watching the show, what is some 1-2 sentences of advice you may give?
I have to go back to what I just said. If you focus on your own self-awareness, and I tell people this all the time, how do I find love? If you are deliberately focused on your own self-awareness, the universe brings you people to facilitate that self-awareness. Right. And those are going to be your authentic relationships. And that is how you really find love.
Or, you have something to add?
Oh, yeah, I would add to that is also be open to love showing up that looks different than what you expected. Suspend all judgments and just engage and interact and be open with people and see where it flows organically. Another thing that I tell people is to do the opposite of what your instincts are telling you to do in these moments. For serial single people, it's like, because it hasn't been working for you. So please, just when you have the inclination to do X, do Y. And see where that gets you. Change up your actions, change up your surroundings and where you hang out and the people who you surround yourself with, and see if that brings love into your life.
And just to piggyback off what he said, if you're looking for love, do something different than what you're doing. So pretty much, it's like, if you're used to chasing people because of the way they look, maybe just put your blinders on and just listen to what someone's telling you. Watch how they treating you, because those are the things that's important, because your looks gonna fade. And the money may go away, but is that person gonna be nice to you? Are they gonna ride with you? And let's do something different. You gotta do something you never did to get what you want.
Right.
To get something different.
I was gonna say, do something different.
Yeah.
Stop looking. I mean, you may find it when you're not looking, because if you're looking, you're trying so hard to find this particular thing, that may not be what you actually need.
Mm-hmm.
So when you stop actually looking for something, it may just show up. I wasn't looking when I found it. I was just showed up. Dropped it off. All right, so going from this direction to this direction, say your name and where people can find you, your social media.
G Smalls at G Smalls everywhere. Yeah.
And at Juan and Gee.
And at Juan and Gee.
I am Juan Smalls, and yeah, all of my social media is at Juan Smalls.
I'm Larry, and mine is Mr. Carter ATL.
And I'm LA, and mine is at Restoration Hero on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Alisha, and you can find me at Queen Time.
And I'm Tre. You can find me Tre_Floyd3. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like, comment, and share. And if you have not watched the show yet, go back and watch the show and watch this. Tell a friend. Thank you, and see you next time.